All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, folks, to the FF Face Off. This is a fantasy football podcast, but today we're talking also DFS, sports betting. It's kind of like a Thanksgiving table where you bring everything together. We got it all today. So we're going to talk DFS. We'll talk some betting. We'll talk some prop bets on the Thursday games. But yes, we are happily part of the Face Off Sports Network. Feel free to visit at fffaceoff.com. We will answer all of your questions. I'm sure we'll get some start sits. We've already got one. At least one of them is pertaining to Thursday. So there you go. Lastly, I'll say that if you enter in a super chat, we answer your questions first come, first serve. That being said, my name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by Steve D'Angelo. And Steve, I feel like it's been a minute since we've podcasted together, but you can follow him at Fantasy Savvy. Steve, sweetheart, how's it by you?
Yeah, it's going good. It has been a while. It hasn't been as often as in the past. And hopefully things will pick up a little bit more as we get the season going on. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody as we are on Thanksgiving Eve. Maybe you're at the bar, maybe you catch us later. But yeah, some good matchups, not the best. We got some shitty quarterback play coming up a little bit with New York, the Giants, and Dallas. We're going to see Drew Lock, but we'll get into all of it. We'll get into some picks. Like Mike said, we're going to kind of put all the platter. We'll get the stuffing, get the turkey, get the cranberry sauce if you like that, whatever else you like. A little pasta, maybe a little baked ziti coming out. So, yeah, whatever you want, we got it for you. And, firing those questions, but let's get into it.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Our own Pete Nova just texted me and said, "You're at the bar," but no, I'm not at the bar. I'm right here, man. So, and maybe he'll join us. Anthony, maybe it's like last time. Maybe we need to talk shit about Josh Allen, and then he'll magically appear.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Also,
he popped in because you guys were talking shit about Josh Allen?
Yeah,
it wasn't about Josh Allen. It was me talking of Patrick Mahomes. Really?
No. It timed up. It timed up perfectly where we were talking. You were talking shit about somebody on our show talking about Josh Allen. So I told Anthony to have some balls and then to name a name.
I was really talking about Steve.
I know you
Steve
were.
loves me and Steve been battling Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen since we've known each other.
But Pete was already getting ready to join, like just to say hello. So like he made it like it was a whole like, hey, you guys are talking shit about Josh Allen. I'm here, like like a run-in, like a wrestling run-in. So he came in to save the day.
He is the favorite for MVP. Hopefully he gets it this year.
I still think it's Lamar Jackson, but I mean, if it's Allen, I'm not going to cry about it.
I think
Lamar is playing better than he did last year. So,
yeah,
he's making more of a case, I think, this year than last year.
Let me bring this up. We got Zach Linton in here saying, yo, Zach Linton. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, brother, as you're a family member of the show, I like to think. Sheil has two comments here, one being Bucks or Dallas DSD, which is why Pete should be in here. He is our DSD guy, but if we had to pick one, Buccaneers DSD going up against the Carolina Panthers, or Dallas going up against the New York Football Giants, which will be led by Drew Lock. Anthony, how you feeling about Thanksgiving and your Dallas Cowboys?
Better than I thought I was going to feel. Again, like I wish this team would tank. They pull out a win this week. I think they're going to pull out a win tomorrow. And again, I'm not happy about it. Their defense, I think, it could go off tomorrow. They played well against Washington, I believe, from a fantasy perspective. I think they had a special teams touchdown. And you're getting Drew Lock. I mean, this should be a solid day. I'm going to, on the other side, I get it's the Carolina Panthers are playing good football offensively.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be like, they're just going to shut down and erase. Like Tampa, they have a bad defense. And we're going to see Carolina probably run the ball well. Bryce Young is playing really good football right now. So I feel like I trust Dallas more.
Steve, what says you? Who would you trust more?
Yeah, I like Dallas more as well.
Dallas?
I kind of like the way Dallas played last week. They look like they're getting a little bit, back to the Cowboys defense that people were drafting. And then Tampa, they played the Giants last week and they shut them down. I thought DeVito was going to make some cutlets. I thought he was going to have a better game than he did. Tampa's defense for the most part this year has been pretty hideous. So yeah, I like Dallas against Drew Lock. I mean, maybe Drew Lock's a little bit better than DeVito and Daniel Jones, but how much better could it really be? The Giants just seem like a complete shit show. Saquon Barkley just taking a big fat shit all over them. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Dallas D.
All right, fair enough. Shield did also ask, which this has to be customary on Thanksgiving Eve show. Must have dish at Thanksgiving. I'm gonna cheat and say I'm one of those guys. Give me give me the corn, give me the stuffing, give me the mashed potatoes. Let me mix it all about. Throw some gravy on top, some cut up turkey. Throw it in there. Basically, let me make my own KFC bowl at the dinner table on Thanksgiving. That's how I roll. No cranberry. Fuck that shit. Sweet potatoes, you can have it down the other end. Cornbread, bring that over with extra butter. Yeah, I mean, that's how I'd roll. But Anthony, must have dish at Thanksgiving. What are we doing?
Antipasta. I'm Italian, and I have the I have the regular food, but then I also have the Italian portion of Thanksgiving and holidays, which is the antipasta. And we usually open with that at like noon, and then it goes to like the pasta and meat sauce or the baked, whatever money gut. But it's always the antipasta is my favorite part of holidays. The rolled up meats Italians. And salami, prosciutto.
Yeah.
Olives, green olives, black olives.
Steve, I mean, you got to be the same. You got to be the same as Anthony. I mean, you're one of those leave the gun, take the cannolis, right? That's how we roll.
Yeah, nice antipasta is always good. I'm going by my brother's house, so I may he may have something set up with that. His wife is Middle Eastern, so she may have some Middle Eastern stuff out there for appetizers. But yeah, I would say like I like ham, like a good ham. I know that's kind of like an Easter thing, but like a nice ham my wife makes that she's actually making like a.
That still makes its way into
it's versatile.
Yeah, you could do a turkey. I mean, on Turkey Day. Yeah, so a good ham. The stuffing, obviously, mashed potatoes. The usual shit. But usually the turkey, like unless somebody really nails it, it's really not that great. Like my brother actually makes it pretty good, but a lot of times you just eat it because you just fucking eat it. Like sometimes it's not the best.
That's what she said.
All the other shit is kind of what I look forward to. Then obviously a couple of beers, some chips, maybe the antipasta. Then you get the games on. You throw the ball outside with the kids a little bit, and you have a good
time. Anthony, this is for you to look up. Jamie asks, when was the last time the Cowboys won on Thanksgiving? I don't even know if he's trying to offend you.
I don't know either.
His question, so you can fact check that. I'm gonna go up a little bit here. Listen, we're gonna jump around some of these questions. I'm gonna cherry pick them. If you want to get your question definitely answered, hit us with a super chat. Jonathan San Diego did ask, which Steve, I'll kick this one to you. What's up, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. Cheers to you, buddy. Start two between McLaurin, McConkey, Ridley, Jennings, also PPR. Oh, wait, it's full point PPR. Also McBride or Taysom. So
they beat the Commanders last year 45-10.
Well, that answers your question there. Okay.
Who was the quarterback for the Commanders in that game?
Probably Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was. Start two between McLaurin, McConkey, Ridley, and Jennings. Well, Brock Purdy is out once again, isn't he? He's been
not
ruled
official,
out.
But I mean, we'll see. But I don't
doesn't sound great. So it sounds like we're going to see Brandon Allen once again. So Jennings is out of the mix.
We should see
Ridley has been better of late as Willie Levis is picking up the pace a little bit. Still getting sacked a ton, pick six, but for fantasy purposes, and gets the win last week against Washington is not bad. And then Washington goes against Tennessee with McLaurin. So I think I would still stick with McLaurin and Ladd there. Ladd's been really coming on. Look at Quentin Johnson, man. That was, oh my God. I feel bad for the guy. Like finally he was starting to get some momentum and two or three just horrific drops. So Ladd really has emerged as the guy there. Herbert's been great all season. And then at tight end, I think, obviously Taysom Hill is going to be a big part of that offense. Even the coaches said so, down the stretch because they have no freaking receivers. But I still got to go with Trey McBride. I mean, he's just like an alpha there. Huge game last week. I think he led, broke the record for Cardinals tight ends or whatever. So, let's go with Trey McBride and then McLaurin and McConkey there.
Yeah, I had said it on social media. It's death, taxes, and NFL head coaches falling in love with Taysom Hill. So yeah. But I agree with what you're saying on all fronts, Steve. Anthony, what says you? Do you want to counter
Yeah, I'm going to
anything?
go McBride, McConkey, and it's
McBride?
actually McBride over over Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the production McBride brings on a week-to-week basis. Are we too enamored by that 40-point game from Taysom Hill, where you got Trey McBride here? He's double-digit PPR points every game since week 5. Minnesota's a tough matchup, but I don't think it's impenetrable. I would rather lean Trey McBride over Taysom Hill this week. I don't think that's too crazy.
I don't think it's too crazy. Just I'm on Steve's side here.
No, I said McBride.
Oh, you did say McBride.
Yeah,
all right, so I'm on my
McBride.
own. I'm going to say Taysom Hill outscores McBride.
Right.
Yeah. And that's not to say that I think another 45-point week is on the horizon. It's just to say these NFL coaches, they all seem to fall into the lust of Taysom Hill. So he's going to get more and more involved.
Yeah, it's just hard to sit a guy like McBride, especially. I mean, they're both coming off monster games. I mean, even Hill had a better game fantasy wise. Just Hill, we've seen this from him before, where he goes nuts, and then maybe a couple good games, decent, but then he disappears for 5-6 points. Then he goes nuts again. So McBride's just a more consistent, reliable option. So that's why I would go with him.
This fucking guy, Nova, comes on here.
Then I'm going McConkey, and I don't think it's McLaurin's a lock for me over Ridley. I like the matchup for Ridley against Washington.
Yeah, I could see that.
And what's his name? McLaurin this is a tough matchup against the Titans. This isn't a gimme matchup. And if it wasn't for that last touchdown, the 80-yard touchdown where Dallas didn't tackle him, it would have been another bad game for McLaurin. So I think I would lean Ridley.
Joel says I'm on drugs, apparently. I don't do drugs, man. That's for other people on this show. I just simply drink alcohol. Anyway, let's go to our one of our favorite people on this show, Debbie. Debbie, happy Thanksgiving. She says, hey, guys, happy Thanksgiving. I need one wide receiver. Then a lot of other things, underscore.
That's just how it comes out when she types.
Okay. All right, Debbie. We got you covered. But she says one flex, McConkey, Jennings, Dell, Waddle, Mooney, and Pollard. So she needs one wide receiver, one flex. I'm assuming that's what that is based on the breakdown there.
For me, I'm sticking with McConkey at receiver, and probably Pollard, as the flex.
Yeah, I mean, is there a world, and Anthony, you can give your answer, but I just wanted to pitch this question to you. We do have a super chat. Is there a world in which Waddle gives us back-to-back weeks of big numbers?
I just did my start sit video, and I have Waddle as a sit. I don't like this matchup for Jalen Waddle. Green Bay, it's in Green Bay. It's going to be cold. They're talking maybe some flurries. I see this because I get people are going to see Miami, Green Bay, and these quarterbacks and these receivers. These defenses on both sides playing really well. I think this is going to be a run dominant game on both sides. And Green Bay, they kind of erase wide receivers sometimes. So I don't know. I kind of see this as maybe a sneaky under this week and a very run dominant football game.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love, he's completed in their, I think in 3 out of their past 4 games, 13, 13, and 14 complete. They're not throwing a lot. I think last year, because everybody was like, why is Jordan Love throwing so much? LaFleur had prime Aaron Rodgers. And they weren't throwing at that high rate. Green Bay's defense last year was not good. This year, we're seeing the defense take a step back up, and we're seeing an uptick in rushing production. And they're limiting by having Love throw less. They're limiting his mistakes because he does make mistakes. So I think we're going back to that LaFleur offense, that LaFleur system when Rodgers was there.
Okay. We will get to our super chat. I do just want to point out Pete Nova, who was like, I don't know, maybe I can make it, maybe I can't, maybe I'll pop in. He's running his fucking mouth here. He says, I'm with Hoff. I'm with Joe. Hoff is shot. Wow. Jesus Christ. McBride is better than Hill. I'm shot. Jesus Christ. And he's all saying, "Hi, Albert. How, Mac? Hey, just come on the show, guy." Fucking hell. What are you, too busy stuffing a turkey already? What are you fucking getting ready? What are you doing?
He's prepping the cinnamon cookies. He's bringing the cinnamon
guy.
cookies over tomorrow. He's making those.
Fuck that guy.
He's got the apron on. He's got the apron.
Yeah, he's got the apron on. Yeah, he's fucking vacuuming. He's fucking feeding the cats.
I'm pretty sure Owen dominated the Brett Owen rivalry.
This is the super chat from our resident troll ATL, who does come in. Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. ATL, resident troll. And he's drinking gin right now. Should be known. He's celebrating as well. Per records, Jim versus John Harbaugh. The rivalry is looking like Brett versus Owen rivalry. He did say to me he wanted to ask you and me, Anthony, which was our favorite rivalry of the two. And I immediately said Brett and Owen because I was more of the Owen guy. I embraced that.
Me too.
I embraced that Owen Hart win at WrestleMania 10.
I was there. I was there.
And he said that you would say that too.
I was there.
Yeah. It's just like I would say was at WrestleMania 18. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. I'm kind of happy that John Harbaugh didn't win. I'm sorry, Jim Harbaugh didn't win that round this past Monday night, because then I would have been like, you can't win at the Super Bowl, but you can win it now. That would have. Listen, I'm emotional scars, Anthony. That's what happened.
That was the Kaepernick game where he missed Crabtree, right? I think it was. He
did a fade to Crabtree when he probably should have ran it with Gore. But yeah, but whatever. I was, this is what it is. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going great in 49ers land. Let's pull up
Is the sky falling yet?
The sky is fucking falling, dude. It's fucking fall. Dude,
you're one game out of the division, though, so it's not that bad.
See, Anthony said
that's what I said.
Anthony said the same thing, but to my point is our division record is shit because we can't win division games.
You're just not dominating like you are, so you're kind of like in Jets Cowboys territory a little bit. It's making you go a little nutty, I think.
Probably. I'm also mentally at peace.
But you're still better. You're still better than both those teams.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but it's over. It's over. Let's get to an actual question here.
First psychology a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Maybe in a way, kind of, sort of. Fam First says, sit one. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Bucky Irving, Marvin Harrison Jr., full point PPR. You have to sit one of those guys. Steve, who is it?
Jeez. I mean, I guess it would be Marvin Harrison. I mean, it's hard to sit Bucky Irving. He played over Rashad White last week, more snaps than ever. He's looking absolute dynamite. The Bucs running game has been solid all year. Too. Sean Tucker was getting goal line carries. I don't know why. Then he fumbled. That experiment seems like it's over. So back to Bucky Irving, George Pickens. Like, how can you really sit him? And CeeDee Lamb's the only guy really to throw the ball on Dallas. So I think I got to go with those three. I'm sitting Marvin Harrison.
Anthony?
Yeah, I'm probably there with Marv. CD's just getting too much usage, and Cooper Rush is throwing the ball pretty well for Cooper Rush. And it's the Giants. Like, that defense isn't good. Like, they allowed Baker Mayfield in a game where it didn't seem like it. Baker Mayfield was just shy of 300 yards passing. I don't know where all that production came from, but he finished with like 294, 296, 0 touchdowns. But, there's a lot of production to be had on that defense. And, Marvin's going to have a good run down the stretch. I just don't know when it's going to start. His rest of season schedule is really nice. Minnesota on paper, it looks like a good matchup, but like, if Minnesota tries to take out Marvin, this is why I like McBride this week. It's going to be a heavy McBride game. So I'll roll with sitting Marvin. It wouldn't surprise me if he had a good game because it seems like he's one of the more unpredictable players this year.
By the way, I also want to make this known. I know I mentioned it at the top. We will talk DFS today. If you have a DFS question about Thanksgiving, if you have a prop bet, which we'll start to integrate some of those, but I want to integrate this. And again, if you want to send in a super chat for whatever you want, we'll answer whatever you need. But Steve, I wanted to ask you actually, because you and I are the DFS guys, and we have probably more so on me. We've been a little lazy with our DFS content during the season, but this is the time to do it. who is one of your favorite DFS plays going into tomorrow of these, of these 3 games going on? Because to me, it's probably going to be, surprisingly enough, Cooper Rush at quarterback. I feel like he'll be one of the lesser owned. I also feel like, while, yes, it's been like, oh, crap, Dak's not there, Cooper, in terms of at least fantasy numbers, hasn't done terrible.
Yeah.
So Cooper Rush is a guy that I might look to lean on based on, who's rostering who. But Steve, what says you, man?
Yeah, Cooper Rush, looking at the ownership here, looks like 9% or 10%, 4,800 on DraftKings.
Yep.
So, yeah, Drew Lock is, he's going to be about 6%. Looks like he's going to start. Looks like DeVito is going to be out. Caleb Williams, 25%. Jordan Love, 20%. Tua, 20%. So, yeah, I mean, Cooper Rush isn't bad. I kind of like going with the Packers stack this week. I'm kind of on the opposite side of Anthony. I feel like this is going to be a unexpectedly high-scoring game. I think Tua is going to bring some results finally in the shitty weather, in the cold weather. It's going to be like 20 degrees in Green Bay, and Tua's record in cold weather is an absolute disaster. Now, I probably shouldn't even be saying that because I live in Florida now, and when I go out in like 50-degree weather, I kind of like my bones start chilling. So like
that was my sister when she lived in Texas for a bit. Like when I got chilly there, not chilly here in New York, she felt it. Yeah,
it's real.
Sure.
Like your body changes. So going from Miami all the way to Green Bay, but supposedly, they're preparing for it this time. I don't know. Maybe it's snow involved. Maybe just if it's just, I don't know. Last year with the Chiefs game was a disaster, but I think Tua, Tyreek, Waddle coming into the mix now. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a shootout. So I kind of like the Packers stack. I think the Packers are going to win this game. So Jordan Love at quarterback for me. But so then I would couple him with Dontavian Wicks at receiver with Dobbs out.
Okay.
And I thought the ownership was going to be a little bit higher, but it's just looking like 13%. So that's not bad. 13% on Wicks is not bad, and he's only 4,200. So it may be a little bit higher than that. And you could have another team where you could roll out maybe Jaden Reed and Watson to kind of, counteract that a little bit. But I kind of like the Packers stack here this weekend.
Shit. I like that too.
And I think some people are going to use, I think some people maybe even use like Bo Melton. Like he's 2.6%, 3,100. Even the other dude, Malik Heath, he's going to be like he's going to be like under 1%. So, if you're playing at a huge tournament and you want to be really, really contrarian, you could do something like that.
What about Drew Lock? I get we like the
I don't hate it.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that actually.
Anthony, you want the Cowboys to lose so bad.
I really do. Drew Lock, he's put up decent numbers in the past.
Yeah, he was good with Seattle last year in those couple spot starts.
What about Caleb, the Bear stack, Caleb and DJ Moore? That's interesting to me.
I love DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore tomorrow. Yeah, and you could stack it too. I'm just. The only thing at that point is it's all about the ownership. That's the one thing.
DJ Moore is about fifth. He's like 27%. Caleb looks like he's going to be the highest owned quarterback tomorrow, which is kind of surprising.
Wow. Yeah, that's why I'm shocked by that because I thought he would be low.
Yeah, he's according to Skotas, he looks like the highest right now.
There's only a couple of games tomorrow. That's the whole bit. So. To promote that our resident troll ATL is drinking gin, he sent in 2 more super chats. One of them was, he said, we should do DFS tomorrow. Promise I beat you guys. Okay.
All right.
He's played with us a couple times. I think
he fucking
did. He win the one? I think he lost every time.
This guy's never won a fucking dime playing DFS.
While you're drinking, can you send me Arby's?
Fuck this fucking guy. You hear me? I know, but we'll set up. We'll set up a Thanksgiving DFS.
Yeah, we got to do that. That's true. Let's do it, Mike.
For those who know, I'm allowed to run my mouth at the resident troll because I have been friends with him for a long time. He's a very good guy, though. All seriousness, nice. He did send in one more super chat and said, "Anthony, I'll direct this one to you because I don't know where to go with this, but where would you rank growing pains in sitcoms, Anthony?"
This is all we talk about. I think low, like outside of my top 10.
He's living right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably outside my top 10 too. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was all right. That was the little boner, right? Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
And Leonardo DiCaprio. made his, I think, debut on that thing, right?
At some point, yeah.
You could never have
it
a
was
show
a good
today
show.
with a
I
friendly
watch
boner.
it, but
Family Ties better than Growing Pains, in my opinion.
Ties was good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of blacklisted shows that I would put on my top 10.
Here we go with this now. Jesus, open the door for this.
Friends, you guys.
Roseanne, Cosby Show.
Friends makes me think of my ex-wife, so we'll just forget about that.
Roseanne wasn't terrible.
Roseanne was good.
Yeah, that was a good
Roseanne
show.
was good.
Yeah.
All in the Family could never last a day in 2024, but that was top notch. Sabrina asks us, can you give me like your top 5 defense and kickers? I will tell you this, Sabrina. We have our kicker and defense videos that do pretty well on this wonderful YouTube channel. I've got my own week 13 picks. Carlson's one of them. Bass is another one. My hit on Lutz last week. Our Pete Nova, who was apparently busy baking potatoes but can't fucking come into this show. He does a good DST pick. So check out the archives. We'll definitely hit you up. And I will just also, before we go to the next question, I'll let you all know that we are going to be coming on here tomorrow, that being me and Anthony. If anybody else decides to join, doing some start-sit questions, we can dig more into that. So apparently you're dropping knowledge, Anthony, according to ATL.
Good.
So, and we will get to you, Poke Squid. So where's Poke Squid here?
Squid. He asked this question a few times.
Here we go. All right. So sit one. Amon-Ra St. Brown. By the way, happy Thanksgiving, Poke Squid.
Is that Pokey Squid? Is that like Pokemon or Poke?
Are we pokey squid or are we poking the squid?
You're poking your squid, yeah.
My squid or your squid?
In general, any squid you want to poke.
Any squid you want. So that sounds like when you're at a bar and it gets real dark. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what happens when you drink too much and you try to go to the bedroom. And
Anthony rolled his eyes, but he's been there more than once. Sit one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Jamar, Aaron Jones, Bucky, Karen, and Chase Brown. Jeez, sit one of those. It's a nice
embarrassment of riches. Embarrassment of riches. Jesus. Where you guys could go pick this one.
If you had to sit one of these guys, and
I'll be right back.
It sounds blasphemous, though, because of how he played, what's going on there. It's got to be Bucky Irving or Aaron Jones, and I probably, you know what?
I'm not sitting Bucky Irving.
I'd go Aaron Jones. Yeah, I'd go Aaron Jones here.
Me too. He's the most volatile one, in my opinion.
But it's just like, this is a tough one, man.
Yeah, Bucky, he looks like he's the guy now in Tampa. 18 touches last week, 6 targets, and that's usually what Rachaad White gets. Aaron Jones got back on track last week. Is he going to keep that up? Now, Kyren, it's so hard to sit Kyren Williams. Kyren hasn't been over 12, or he had 13 last week. So in his past 4 games, 10, 13, 8, 13. He finally got back in the end zone. But this is what's alarming for Kyren Williams. He's had back-to-back games with 0 targets. So now the matchup is there. His next 3 matchups are smash spots, so I can't sit him. It just keeps going back to Aaron Jones. He's in a good matchup too, but I can't sit Kyren. Amon-Ra against the Bears, are we really going to sit Amon-Ra? The Bears have an elite secondary right now and stopping fantasy receivers, but and Amon-Ra's coming off of a kind of a low outing. He does have a knee injury. He's going to play, but Amon-Ra, Amon-Ra's next 5 matchups, the Bears twice, Green Bay, Buffalo, San Francisco, they're all top 9 in fantasy points allowed. Tough-ass matchups, but again, how can we sit Amon-Ra St. Brown? So I keep going back to Aaron Jones.
Yep, that'd be the play for me.
Yeah.
Only because it's a super chat, and then I want to ask you a question, Anthony.
Apparently, Pokey Squid's a band.
Oh, he's finally. So we did get a super chat from ATL saying, "Don't speak."
Oh, there he is.
The GOAT, aka Pete. And now Pete is now here. He's done mashing potatoes like a fucking prick.
He was baking cookies. He was
running his fucking mouth in the chat, but I don't know if I can make it, guys. All right, so we're not supposed to speak ill of the goat.
I just
what do you got?
Nah, I just couldn't believe that you said McBride sit over Taysom Hill. That really set me off.
I like him.
You thought you were deceiving the masses, so he had to come on the show.
Yeah, I had to make sure I kept guys like Albert safe.
No, I get it. Listen, it's a road less traveled. That's fine, but I like Taysom Hill this week. I'm buying into this again. Seems like every single time there's a head coach there in New Orleans, they all fall in love with Taysom Hill. And no, do I think Taysom Hill is going to put up another, what was it, like 45-point week or whatever the hell it was, before the bye? No, he's not going to do that. But do I think opportunity is going to be given to him where he could potentially outscore McBride? Yeah, I think there's a world in which that exists. So I would not be shocked if they finish within a few points of one another.
I get it. I mean, McBride's coming off a 15-target game, though.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think the thing would be is they definitely I could see him scoring more than McBride, but the safer, consistent option is McBride, who still has high upside too. That's all.
Well,
that's what I said. I said Taysom Hill's volatile and McBride's more consistent.
I will say we are honored that you decided to join us.
Pizza bet? Did you guys do a pizza bet on that?
I was thinking about that actually.
We can if you want. Yeah. Is that why you came on here?
Should we do a 3-to-1 job?
3-to-1. You guys want to gangbang me? You want to do that? All right. We can do that. Okay. Very good.
All right. We'll do it. Well, Pete came on the show, so you might as well do a pizza bet with him.
I will. Yeah. Anyway, we are getting access to super chat from Mr. Bascane Gonzalez or Lutz, rest of season. Boy, if I'm looking at this, I got my playoff matchups pulled up here. I get it's rest of the season. We got more stuff involved. I don't love the playoff matchups for the Broncos. Do I? I'm thinking. I'm looking. I actually will go Lutz. I will go Lutz over Gonzalez. He's playing the Colts in week. I'm looking at playoffs right now. I have the playoffs numbers in front of me. Yeah, I think I would go with Broncos here. I'd go Will Lutz rest of the season over Gonzalez. Seibert is now on the IL, which I guess we saw. Yeah. After what happened,
some of these kicker names, I don't even know who
these guys are. I don't know who Gonzalez is, dude.
Zane Gonzalez.
Zane Gonzalez. God damn it!
Okay,
disrespectful jerk. Maybe you got to watch my video.
He played with Arizona.
Schrader. Will Lutz.
How do you not know who Will Lutz is?
I know who Will Lutz is, but he was on the Saints for all those years, right?
Damn legend.
And he missed like 97 field goals in a row, and he got cut, and he ended up somewhere else.
Don't worry about that.
He'll probably miss 97 field goals at some point.
No, they thought they were going to trade him, but I think they cut him. Actually, the Broncos may have traded for him. I don't remember.
I think he was good at one point, like really good. Then he started to be terrible. Then he got cut. I'm pretty sure
he had a bad year, and they had a rookie step in.
And Lutz was a trade. Lutz was a trade.
Yeah,
here we go with this now. Okay,
for a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to ask. Now I was going to direct it to Anthony. Oh wait, Jamie's no problem. Jamie is saying, choose one: pineapple or anchovies on pizza. Fucking none of them, man.
None. Dude,
yeah, I'd rather die on my feet than keep living on my knees. Put a bowl.
I'll go with anchovies over pineapple, but yeah, none of them.
Nope.
Fuck you and the horse.
I do think it's odd. I've said this before. When I was in Spain, apparently a very popular thing to do is put tuna fish on pizza.
Oh God!
Ooh. You know what?
And it was
probably make that work.
It was
probably make that work.
Keep that in Paris.
Yeah, that's some Spain shit. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right.
That was a real thing.
I would try it because I don't mind tuna, like a nice tuna salad. But I mean, I would try it. I can't imagine it really flows though. That's the only problem.
I imagine that being horrific. I did want to ask around the room. We have no other super chats right now, and we are trying to integrate some DFS and some sports betting. So, Anthony, I'm going to go to you first. Then I'll go to Steve. Then I'll go to Pete. Is there a prop bet for tomorrow that you like? Now, if anybody has a super chat they're dying to
Don't
get
go to me
answered, you can send it
first.
in.
Let me think about this because
I can't go to you first.
No.
Okay, all right. So, Steve or Pete, do either of you want to answer that first? With a prop bet that you like for tomorrow, Steve. If you have it, you can go with it.
There's probably some other ones that I like better.
Okay,
but I'm gonna go with the Bears. Getting an interception on Goff.
You said, you don't even know what he's going to fucking say.
Plus 120. Yeah, Bears getting a pick on Goff, plus 120. So Goff over getting one interception, plus 120. And also, I like Montez Sweat to get a sack, plus 160. The Bears last 2 years defensively were very, very tough on Goff. The first game they should have won. And Eberflus got way too conservative. He started running the ball. I remember watching both those games. And then the second game, the Bears just straight up dominated. I mean, Goff had a horrible, even worse game, and they won that second matchup. So I think the Bears are going to play close. I think it's going to be a defensive game a little bit. I like the under. I like the Bears plus the points. And I like the defense to make some plays. So again, there's probably some other props if I dive deep, but in this game specifically, this is the first game tomorrow at 12. Fire up Goff throwing a pick and Montez Sweat getting a sack plus 160.
Now, Pete, you can answer, but I gotta ask you, what room are you in, buddy? You're not. I don't see a Jaguars helmet. I don't see.
I'm in my old room that I grew up in. That then became my sister's, and then now it's a guest bedroom.
Oh, does that mean your dad's around?
Yeah, he just sent a comment down below, actually.
Fuck yeah. Where's that guy?
I didn't know you were back home. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
He's back in his roots, back in Jersey. Good shit.
Throw the pee bottle out, Petey. Oh, so there you go.
Going out with any local friends?
I did have a couple of buddies that wanted to go out.
I would take a bullet for Pete's dad. He's a good dude.
Nice. I like Malik Neighbors' yards prop. It's at 67.5 on FanDuel. I mean, with all the TO diva stuff at the locker, I just feel like they're going to make a point to get him the ball. And this Cowboys defense is really bad. So I like that. I mean, Cowboys defense is 30th ranked secondary in the NFL, and they give up the second most receiving yards per play. So I like Neighbors in this one.
Anthony, is it that easy? Like a change in quarterback, and I get it. It's not a good, not a great transition, but it is going to Tommy DeVito to Drew Lock. Is that enough? Is that actually interesting? In that actually for Neighbors to hit that prop.
What's the yards?
67.5.
I'm pretty sure he's hit that, regardless.
I like that.
He's been okay. So no, he's actually been under that in 3 straight games, but he's getting volume.
Right.
But it's down. Like the last time these two teams played, granted, it was Daniel Jones. Neighbors had 12 for $115 on 15 targets. I do trust Drew Lock more than I do DeVito. He's seen a lot more in his years than DeVito. They're going to bring pressure. He's going to get the football out. So I do like that problem.
They did practice in camp together a decent amount. I remember seeing Drew Lock highlights to Neighbors in camp. So I think they have somewhat of a relationship.
Drew Lock against the Niners last year, 269 yards.
That game.
Tyler Lockett had 89 yards and Metcalf had 52. So I mean, Lock's gonna, he'll take some chances down the field. He'll get picked off maybe once or twice, but he'll definitely get some chances to Neighbors for sure.
And the one thing I was going to say before I kick it to Anthony and the prop bet that he would like is I would think that there has to be a little bit of something to the whole, you put Tommy DeVito in front of me, you sign me for $5 million. Now I have a chance to play. I'm going to play my balls out here. I'm going to die on my shield here and go out. So
I agree.
So maybe Neighbors gets fed.
Well, you guys will also remember that Philly game where he threw that touchdown to Njigba for the winning touchdown at the end of the game. That was a good win. Good call. And Metcalf had 78 yards in that game as well. So, I kind of like the Neighbors prop. I think this could be the week where, maybe he gets one of his better games of the year.
Look at that, Pete. You just jump on in a purple
I mean, I've
card
been
room and
told,
sprinkle
so
some knowledge.
fading me probably best idea. I've been terrible.
That's the spirit. Nice to wrap that in a bow, buddy. Anthony, what does you? Do you have a prop bet you would like?
Some good value, like Devin Achan. He's been hot. His touchdown odds, and this is a week where just as slate tomorrow, both Lions running backs are minus 170. Josh Jacobs minus 175. Achan, for as hot as he's been, he's only minus 120. So I think that's a nice spot. In the Dallas game, we know the Giants are bad at defending the run. Ezekiel Elliott's plus 350 to score. I think if there's a give me spot for Zeke at plus 350, why not sprinkle there? And then some really nice value on in this Lions game. If you believe in Caleb Williams, Caleb to throw 2 touchdowns, this Lions secondary, they're like a top 5 in fantasy points allowed. He's plus 188 to throw 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore in his career has historically, going back to Carolina, he's destroyed the Lions. He's had a touchdown in 4 out of 5 games, and he's gone over 80 yards in 4 out of 5. So the over on his receiving yards, 54.5, and then DJ Moore to score is plus 240. So those are my value spots for tomorrow.
Plus 240. Wow.
Yeah, I hit him last week at plus 240 too.
That is good. Yeah,
that's good.
But like that Zeke one's like, if there's ever a fucking spot to use Zeke, and it's again, this is he normally crushes New York. They're going to probably give him a give me score. I can see that happening. At plus 350 though, like a $10 bet is 30. That's not a bad return. $5 bet.
Is Brandon Cooks playing tomorrow?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
I just saw his total is 22.5. So
maybe he is back.
If he's playing, I kind of like that actually.
That's not bad.
I should correct that. I'm my DFS darling, my best ball darling. Him and Khalil Shakir, Tank Bigsby.
What about Drew Lock rushing? Is he a runner plus 650 to score?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
He can get out there. Pete is our Broncos guy on the ground.
What was the question?
Oh, here we go. He's not even fucking listening to us. Big time.
Last year against the Eagles, he ran 1 time for -2. So not great. Let me look
Pete's busy trying to hire painters to paint the room before we go off air.
Let me look at the Niners game, see what he did rushing wise.
Drew Lock, rushing yards.
Yeah, Drew Lock against the Niners, 3 for 5. So pretty shitty, actually. But he could take off, maybe 10 yards. What's the over under? 8? 7?
Do we have it? Does somebody have it?
I can get it. It's in front of me.
Jesus Christ. By the way, if you guys enjoy this wonderful content, we will be live tomorrow morning. I will just say, Anthony.
What time you guys going on tomorrow?
Between 9 and 10.
Between 9 and 10, we'll be on with any start state questions you have for Thursday. I'm sure the rest of the weekend will trickle in. We'll answer those. But yeah.
So many tight end questions we're getting, by the way. There's no line for Drew Lock. DeVito has lines for rushing, but they don't have anything for Lock.
It sounds like he's going to be out, DeVito. So that's probably why. They may pump up tomorrow morning, maybe.
Yeah. Hunter, probably not Hunter Hurst Hemsing, Anthony, so don't get too excited. But Hunter18 over on YouTube does ask, start Otten or Taysom Hill PPR and start Broncos D versus Cleveland or Texans D versus Jags. So, Pete, we'll leave the defensive question to you unless anybody has some input. But Otten or Taysom Hill, Anthony, what says you? As much as I'll just say this, as much as I love Hill this week, and I think he does well, I think Otten's a great play this week, great matchup. Last week played against the Giants, but the Giants don't allow a lot of points to tight ends. So
they went into last week number 1 against tight ends. Now they're number 2. And Otten, he gets Carolina. They're 32nd against tight ends. The easiest matchup. Noah Gray just hung 2 on him. I think Kelsey had a solid game in that. Yeah, I'm going to go on.
Okay.
I'd go with Hill, honestly. I mean, I know
this fucking guy.
I would go Hill here. I mean, is that crazy? I mean, you're talking about McBride as if like McBride hasn't been consistently the most consistent tight end in football, I would say, in fantasy. But here with Otten, first came back with Evans. I know that the matchup was tough last week, but he didn't have that great of a week. I mean, 1 catch for 30 yards. I like Otten, but I would go with Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I like Taysom Hill as well, actually.
See, look at that.
Anthony's, oh man, you know.
I mean, Anthony and I had this question, I think, like 2 weeks ago. Who was better rest of the year? I think we both said Otten.
He has
I think
a
I
good
liked it better when
schedule.
Pete wasn't on.
Otten has a nice schedule. It gets Carolina 32nd, Vegas 30th, and then Carolina in the fantasy championship. So you have 3 bottom 2 matchups in your next 5 games for Kate Otten.
Yeah.
All right. I have Denver as my number 1 defense this week. So I'd go Denver. I like the Texans a lot this week too. I don't really think you can go wrong. The one thing I'd say is Cleveland gives up like top 2 or 3. I don't have the numbers in front of me, pressures wise to the quarterback position, and Denver's at the top of the league for pressures. So if you're looking for sacks, and this is also the second lowest total on the week, so low point total plus a lot of sacks is really what you're looking for. And Denver's at home, so home team, low point total, and a lot of sacks. So I would go with Denver.
I like Denver too. Jameis, maybe a couple pick sixes. Yeah,
it could be a thing. Yeah.
He's always do. This could be a certain pick 6 week. Definitely, Jameis is going to go after him. He's going to be like, "I'm going after him." Pick 6.
And again, just a friendly reminder before we get to the next question. Pete,
it's a Jerry Judy revenge game too.
Oh, here we go.
I like that.
Who has
with no Tillman probably?
Do I gotta go? Do I have to scroll down like an old man? Hold on, I'll get there.
What are you looking
for? Said, wait for it. So she said
the sound
drop. There are so many. We have so much shit in our thing.
Anticlimactic.
You gotta have like a keyboard.
That being said, Pete, the reason why I delegated that to Pete is Pete does a great job answering DST stuff. He's got his DST content has been off the charts, fantastic. So feel free to check that out in our archives. He's got
you. By the way, I'm not cutting you off. You skipped a couple here. So
I'm skipping everything right now. You want to come in? Good.
I just want to make sure guys that are waiting.
He owns the show, comes in. Yeah, there you go. What we got?
It's all good. Read it off.
Oh, okay. Start 1. Half point PPR. Dowdle, DJM, or Reed. That being DJ Moore, who Anthony, I believe, made your starts as far as wide receivers. Yeah. I'll go to you first here, buddy. What do you think?
I'm going to go DJ Moore. Rico's in a nice spot, but DJ Moore, we just talked about earlier, crushes Detroit. Caleb Williams is playing better. In the past 2 games since the OC change, DJ Moore is back in the double digits, and he went for over 20 last week. I think he keeps it going.
Mark me down for a Jaden Reed week. I think this is a Jaden Reed week, man.
Without Dobbs.
Without Dobbs, they funnel a lot of their volume into the slot, and they've given up some production to the slot the last few weeks. So I don't know. I just something's giving me vibes that it's a Reed week. So I like Reed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rico. The Giants, look what Bucky Irving just absolutely shit all over them.
Bucky Irving's a lot better of a running back.
I agree, but this is like a matchup where he could stay involved and they're not going to get blown out. So he should get a lot of looks. I think Rico, he's actually the highest owned running back in DFS this week as well. So let's go Rico here. It's always safer to take the running backs. I definitely could see Moore or Reed, obviously beat him up, but I just think it's a little bit safer to go with Dowdle.
Here's another question. Getting asked by Roach over on the YouTube. Then I'm going to go get a beverage. Is it crazy to flex Taysom Hill over James Conner? Hawkinson's my other tight end. Also, Chiefs or Dallas D. So Pete could probably respond to the defense question. I will just say, I actually personally, and you guys can roast me all you want, I think I would do Taysom over Hawkinson and still play James Conner. I don't like listen, I don't like the matchup for Hawkinson. I've got some numbers up here I can pull up at some point, but I don't love the matchup for TJ Hawkinson. If I got it here, hold on, right meow. Where are we now? I got so much shit in my goddamn.
It's Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're looking at that, Arizona allowing the 6th fewest points. They've allowed less than 10 points to the position in 7 of their 11 games. And in the last 3 games, they've allowed an average of 5.73 points per game to tight ends. So I'm not hot and bothered about TJ Hawkinson this week. I mean, he went ahead and he had 100 plus yards last week, but that was against a Bears defense that's allowed 15 plus points in 4 of the last 6 games. So I'm not falling out of my chair to start Hawkinson. I think we have to look at it in the perspective of we're starting a TJ Hawkinson who's come back from injury. Not we're starting a TJ Hawkinson who pre-injury was playing like his tits were on fire. So I think I would go Taysom Hill at tight end if you could, and then I would go James Conner as my flex. You guys can feel free to roast me. I'll be right back.
Hawkinson 9 targets, 7 catches, 114 last week. A lot of it came in overtime though.
Josh Oliver was out last week, so that helped him as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's going to be out again. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind Hawkinson this week.
I don't mind him either. I worry about James Conner against Minnesota's run defense too.
Yep.
So I think I'd go Hawkinson and Hill, to be honest.
I think I agree with going to 2 tight ends. And Conner disappointed last week. That was a good matchup for him. Minnesota, they have one of the better running defenses. And Conner, to me, is probably more touchdown dependent. And I get Arizona on paper. Like, they haven't played, for what it's worth, a lot of good tight ends this year. Disley and Kittle and FFPC scoring, that's tight end premium, but they go for over 20. The past 3 games, Jonnu before the breakout, Gerald, Everett, and Kmet, Jets tight ends by, and then AJ Barner and Fant. Like, I don't think they've played. Like, TJ Hawkinson is a top 5 talent in the NFL when it comes to tight ends. So I don't mind TJ Hawkinson, who's coming off of 9 targets in 2 out of his past 3 games.
Yeah, I don't mind going to 2 tight ends. Trey Benson, I mean, Connor only had 7 carries last week. Benson had 4. He's getting a little bit more in the mix. I mean, Connor, yeah, it's not the best matchup. I don't
wonder why they lost.
Yeah, that is true. And then Kyler, what are we going to expect? He's kind of been very unpredictable all season long. He goes on these hot streaks, then he goes, he disappears and he gets hot again. So I don't mind it.
Evan said Love or Stafford this week. Every time I'm out on Stafford, he just has a really good game. I can't really get a feel for him, to be completely honest with you. I think if you're going with Anthony's rationale that he thinks it's going to be more of a running game, I think Stafford's not a bad play this week. I mean, I would go with Stafford. That Miami defense is playing much better. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, Stafford's a play for me. Also, I'm buying into Anthony's theory about the whole be dominated by the run.
I mean, fucking Winston threw for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Saints, and then Cousins threw for 300 yards. So yeah, I think Stafford probably the better play.
Yeah, 3 out of his past 4 games, Love is thrown under 23 balls. So again, like, the volume hasn't been there in the last month.
Yeah. This one, I really don't want to start Swift. It's really tough because you run the risk. Swift plays Thursday. McNichols, say Brian Robinson does play. McNichols is pretty much, then you're stuck with Bigsby. So that really kind of worries me because you're pretty much chancing to Bigsby or McNichols. And if B-Rob plays, I'm not in love with McNichols. I hate Swift's matchup this week, though. I really hate this matchup. But unfortunately, I'd go Swift unless you're willing to take the chance and B-Rob plays.
Yeah, McNichols actually hasn't been terrible when Eckler's been out with Robertson. Like, I've seen him, score a couple touchdowns in those matchups too. So it might not be terrible. And I know Brian Robinson practiced today, but maybe he still doesn't play. So yeah, I mean, you got to kind of play it by ear. Swift's a matchup I don't like either. But yeah, I think if Robinson is playing, I think Swift you just have to go with and hope that he catches a bunch of balls and in kind of the Lions kind of taking the lead. He's catching some passes.
So Eckler did not practice. Brian Robinson practiced limited. One of those guys might be out this week, which does put McNichols on the radar.
Right.
But Tennessee is not the greatest matchup, even though I don't know. And then I look Bigsby is interesting if Trevor Lawrence plays and he's practicing limited. And they get Houston, and that's a tough matchup. I don't know. I guess I would go Swift.
Trevor Lawrence said that
I would probably lean Swift.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence said surgery was on the table too, and who the fuck knows how healthy he is?
I would just say the one whole thing about this, which we need to keep in mind, with 3 games tomorrow, 1 game on Friday, then Sunday, then Monday, you got to make that Swift decision by tomorrow because Swift is playing in that first game at 12:30. So you got to make that call. Yeah,
maybe you get some garbage time. I mean, the Lions are their team total is like 30 points.
Yeah, honest to God, and apparently I'm giving a lot of roads less traveled here. I don't love this matchup here for Swift. I think I would wait, and I would roll the dice on either Bigsby or McNichols here. I don't love this for Swift. I mean. Anthony, I could be wrong, but because I made 10,000 graphics today, but I think you had Swift as one of your sits, no?
Yeah, I do not like Swift this week, but of these options,
sure,
but then when I look at the Swift usage, he only had 16 touches, which is 2 below his season average of 18. He's on he didn't score. Roschon is starting to eat into those inside the 5 carries, inside the 5-yard line carries a little bit.
How many touches do you think Bigsby and McNichols get? I mean, even if Swift got 16, you'd probably be pretty happy with 16 when looking at these 3, I would think, right? And the matchups aren't here for the other 2 either.
The problem is he doesn't get goal. I mean, they all suck. All these options are shitty. I mean, it's not good a situation. Let's just put it at
power of positivity, Steve.
It's a fucking shit show. I mean, I had to start Amir Abdullah last week, but it worked out.
There you go.
What the fuck?
I mean, the Lions held Jonathan Taylor to 35 yards rushing.
The Titans have been pretty good against runners too, so I don't know how good McNichols is even going to do. What the fuck is he going to do?
Yeah.
I do think Eckler's probably going to be out, but I think B-Rob has a chance to play.
Well, keep in mind,
tough choice.
Swift is the early game tomorrow, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We do have a super chat from somebody not named ACL infused with gin. We have our own Zach Linton, friend of the family. At this point, it's more of like what side is Zach bringing to the FF Face-Off Thanksgiving table? But he does ask, 2, ? Reek, Rom, Mooney, Swift, Thielen, Rico need 1 wide receiver, 2 flex, and Monty, Ramon, Higgins, Judy, Ertz need 2. All right, so let's break this down. Before we get into that back ladder part.
Tight end premium.
So
something fucking.
It sounds like Tyreek Hill, Ramondre Stevenson, Darnell Mooney, DeAndre Swift, Adam Thielen, Rico Dowdle. He needs 1 wide receiver, 2 flex. So let's answer that part first. Then let's get to the back end of that.
Don't go to
me. What the fuck you laughing at, Steve? God damn it.
I said don't go to me because I'll fuck that up right now.
Oh,
I had one too many Florida mans tonight, so
yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know what that is.
It's this fucking beer. It's fucking
no.
raw. Yeah, made in Tampa. It's a double IPA.
5% alcohol?
9%.
9%. Jesus,
yeah, it's like when I was growing up in Jersey and I used to go to the Chinese store in Patterson. I used to get the Steel Reserve and get the Lucy's 9.1.
The Lucy's. That's the fucking Jersey thing.
This is being at the...
Lucy's are illegal too.
Well, at the Chinese spots in the hood, you can get them. The Lucy's.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
go in the area. Everybody,
I'd go with Tyreek and Rico. By the way,
by the way, there's a question. Yeah,
I roll the dice with Tyreek and Rico. I don't
Well,
know.
he needs one wide receiver, two flex.
Two flex.
Well, he said 2 question mark, so I thought he was meant pick 2 in the first.
Yeah, and I don't know if that 2 men at the end. Well, you know what?
So he needs a
No,
wide
Pete,
receiver.
you're probably
and-
right. He probably needed 2 on the other end, back end. He needs okay.
No, he
go
needs
fine.
1 wide receiver, 2 flex, and then
Yeah.
the second half is need 2. So he needs
Okay.
3 in the first. So I would
No,
go Tyreek. I would go Tyreek, Rico, and Ramondre. Though I don't like Ramondre against the Colts, but
Same.
I don't like the Ramondre pick.
Why not? Rams are 27th in points allowed, or the Colts are 27th in points allowed. They're not great.
their defense has been getting better. I don't know. Ramondre has just been sad.
Yeah, it's got more to do about Ramondre than the actual matchup.
I mean, they got smoked. Brees had his first big game, goes for 31 against him. Gibbs and Montgomery both went for at least 16, and Gibbs 24 last week. I mean, they've been giving up high floors to running backs.
You guys are going to tear me apart in this, and I don't care. I think I'd go Thielen.
I knew you were going to say fucking
You
out.
love Thielen. But
Always
Yeah,
and forever. I'm
something.
my trapper keeper.
It's a good pick, actually. I like Thielen. Actually, I'd like to change my answer. I'd say Tyreek, Thielen, and Rico.
is
Oh,
Mooney,
look at this.
is Mooney
Well,
playing
yeah.
this week? Mooney's going to play this week, right?
They're saying he's questionable, limited in practice, but it looks like he's going to go. I would say.
He'll probably go.
I'm still
Yeah,
going
I
Rams.
like Thielen's matchup, actually. I think it's a good matchup for Thielen. This is probably one of Bryce Young's better matchups of the year.
Look at there, Anthony. Come on board. Come on the Thielen train, buddy.
Absolutely
Come
not.
on.
I'm going
Oh,
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, I would go Ram over Thielen.
We'll get to the second part.
Ramondre.
Higgins, Judy. I'm starting Montgomery if he's playing. If he's playing, I don't care if he's banged up. I'm starting him. He's an auto touchdown every week. They're projected 30 points. If he's going, I'm playing him.
Should I keep picking on Anthony?
No, let's keep it moving.
And he said that there's a tight end premium. You could go with Hurts. I'm going with Higgins and Monty.
Okay. All right. I will be serious here. All right.
And he gets a first down premium. So
What is 1 PPC? What is that?
1 point per carry.
Oh, per carry?
Yeah,
Oh,
per carry.
Wow.
Yeah.
per catch. And then
Love
0.25 first down. Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of half PPR leagues do the points per carry and the first.
I'd
down.
like a league where
Well,
maybe the running backs and I was thinking maybe the running backs get half PPR and the receivers get 1 PPR. Actually, you know what I was thinking was like if you have like 6 catches for 12 yards, you shouldn't get any points for PPR. Like there should be a minimum like of 20 yards at least on those catches.
Well, seriousness though, I don't like Ramondre this week.
No, I don't like it.
Like I'm not in on that.
Listen, on the second part of the question, I'm going Higgins and probably Monty slightly over Montgomery. I think he's safer. I still like Ram, but Higgins lights up Steelers. He's gone for over 100 yards receiving 4 times in his career, including 2 straight. He goes for 140 to $148 against Pittsburgh.
I actually like Ramondre this week. I think this could be a
I love Ram.
game. Yeah,
Me
I
too.
like him.
But I over and in this part of the question, you like him over Montgomery. First part, I'm good starting him. This part of the question, we know Montgomery's safe, and that's kind of why I like Montgomery over Ram, because I think Ram's either going to go for 20 or he goes for 5. Because that's his season.
I would still take Montgomery.
I do have a question, Frank.
But he's a little bit banged up too, so it's I don't know how much he's going to play tomorrow.
Anthony, is there a world, which I don't hate your picks by the way, but with what Jerry Jeudy has done at least lately, is there did that weigh into your decision at all? Because he has done decent. I get it.
He's been really nice.
Yeah, but over the whole season, he's been disappointing. But over the last few weeks, he's raised some eyebrows. Because I'm with you. I'm with you on the whole Monty and Higgins thing.
Not
over
those guys. Not over those guys. Okay. Jeudy is getting decent volume. He's gone for over double-digit PPR points 7 out of the 10 games he's played, 7 out of the 11. Right. So he's actually been pretty good this year, all things considered, in Cleveland. But Higgins, when he's active and healthy, he's seeing some more volume sometimes over Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one
Higgins
ass.
got to be in your lineup.
Bing bong.
Petey, you got something? Oh, Petey playing sound drops.
No, I said Monty and Higgins for sure.
All right. Good, Pete. You read. I'm gonna go down the sound drops. Good, you read.
All right. Paul said, "Hey guys, if Brees Hall misses, what would you rank? Where would you rank Braylon Allen, and would you start him over Pollard if Spears plays?" Yeah, Titans get the Titans get Commanders. I'm starting Pollard. He's been Mr. Consistent. I like Braylon Allen. I think it's a good matchup this week, but I'm going with Pollard.
Jets against Seattle too, by the way.
But
Seattle's defense. I mean, I was clowning
with
Seattle's defense, but they're starting to play better now. Seattle's defense. He's following.
Yeah, they had a lull. They had a lull, but they're back. Yeah,
the last 3 games they've been better.
Pete.
I got to go with Pollard as well.
Yeah. I'm with you guys at Pollard.
Randy Miller said Freiermuth, Knox, or Schoonmaker. Honestly, give me Schoonmaker. Well, he goes up against.
I like Freiermuth this week.
Muth.
I like.
You like the Muth.
Give me the best player on the board.
I agree.
I don't like. Listen, all right.
Are we sure Freiermuth's better than Schoonmaker? Second round pick.
He's going up, but he's going up against the Giants.
Bengals is a good matchup too. 47.5.
I'm just saying. He said the best player on the board. I thought you meant skill set.
Either way,
that's I think Schoonmaker might be. I haven't really seen him too much. I mean, because he's kind of been overshadowed by Ferguson, but I do think Moot's probably better. No.
Either way, Knox is out, even though the Niners get their pants pulled down on Sunday Night Football. I just think that the Bills find other ways to attack that Niners defense than other than the tight end.
The great Josh
been good against tight end, but
the elite Josh Allen's going to take down Brock Purdy or Brandon Allen. Which one is it?
I don't you get to fucking have it, man. Just fucking talk to me when Josh Allen gets a pivotal playoff win, and then we have a conversation. I'm saying you want to go. Oh, guy, you beat. Talk to me when Josh Allen gets a pivotal playoff win.
Just look at his playoff numbers.
Exactly. Look at his fantasy football numbers. They look so good. Josh Allen's elite.
I'm not talking about his fantasy football.
Let's do this. You guys want to get into this? Anthony, you ready?
13 seconds. Is that his fault?
You ready to upset these
guys?
Is
13 seconds his fault?
No, but I would say me and Steve
were 13
right.
seconds.
Steve were right.
Against the Chiefs.
Is that him with Haley Steinfeld?
Me and Steve were right about Josh season ranking. Just want to put that out there. Me and Steve.
I don't know why this is still a discussion. I mean, Josh Allen is simply elite. I don't understand why we're still talking about this.
There's no convincing them. It's fine. They don't care. It doesn't matter.
It's a good point, Pete. I do not give a shit. It's a good point.
Anyway, what I will say is the Niners are not done yet, bro. So I would say
I don't think they're done either.
I don't think they're done, brother.
But they need Brock Purdy in there to have a chance.
100%. I would go with Josh Dobbs. I don't know what they're doing with Brandon Allen personally.
I will just say before Pete.
What'd you say?
We'll see.
All right. Well,
before Pete gets the next question, I will just say, because I know Pete's dying to get the next question because he's dying about all this side fluff. I will just say the thing with going against the Niners is their division record. That's what's going to fuck them over in the end. Even if they win some games here, that division record is going to do them in.
Yeah, and NFC's fallen off a little bit though in the last few weeks. So that's what makes me think they have a chance to stay in it for at least a wild card spot.
This isn't fantasy football. We still got 7 weeks left. So
yeah, I still don't trust Seattle, to be honest. But in this question, look, the Bucs lost their starting safety in Whitehead. It worries me. I want to see a game. This is a defense that's not great, but they did get 4 sacks last week. Bryce Young's been playing better, and so is Carolina. But I'm going to go with them if Brock Purdy plays. If Brock Purdy is out, I would go with the Bills in this question.
Same, 1,000%.
Yeah. James Brown reference was cool. Let's see. I don't know if we answered Jack. He said I have the options of Connor, Tyrone, Tracy. I guess who would you pick? I'm gonna go with James Conner. I just worry about Tyrone Tracy. I don't know what this offense is gonna look like. And he fumbled last week. So
another fumble.
2 fumbles, didn't he? Or 2 fumbles the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And one was to lose the game.
Yeah. James Conner is my answer.
Yeah, I don't love the matchup for Connor, but Tracy's actually fumbled 3 times, lost 2 of them in the past 2 games. So there's a world where, his snaps last week, 23 and Singletary 19, Eric Gray 15. So as much as I like and we like Tyrone Tracy, I think this experiment could be coming to an end for a while.
Flex Keenan Allen, Otten, or Taysom Hill. This is going to surprise you guys, but I like Keenan Allen over these guys. I'm willing to roll the dice. Good matchup. He scored 23 points last week. He's had 10, 6, 8, and 15 targets in the last 4 weeks.
We're going Taysom Hill, baby.
So give me Keenan.
I'll go Otten.
Taysom.
I'll go Otten again over Taysom.
I will go Taysom, but I will say I think Taysom and Otten finish within a few points of one another. Because I think Otten, people are going to be worried about Otten. And Anthony, you and I talked about this earlier in the week. He went up against the Giants, who, as much as they're in shambles, they don't give up a lot to tight ends.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't see Otten give up a lot. Now Otten enters a matchup against the Panthers. So I think there's a lot of production to be had there. By the way, that's the first of 2 matchups against the Panthers on this playoff stretch. I believe it's week 17 in your championship week if you want to play Otten.
Yes.
You can, he's playing against the Panthers again.
Yeah,
So.
the Panthers are worse against tight ends, so yeah, I don't mind.
Go.
I would go with one of those. I would go with one of those tight ends. I don't really trust Allen against the Bears. Against the Lions.
I'll be on the Keenan Allen island. I haven't suggested starting Keenan many at all much, but I'll ride with him this week. Jason Spera said, "Who do you like? Two flex PPRs: MVS, Trey Tucker, Tajay Spears, Ricky Pearsall, or Abdullah." I would go with MVS, and I'd go with Abdullah.
I think we do have to just say we will answer this question, but your profile picture is immaculate.
Yeah,
that's an old school
echo cooler.
Cooler.
If you know, you know. Yeah,
I'm going MVS and Abdullah as well.
I love the spellings. I love the spellings of Tajay and Pearsall. By the way,
yeah, Pearsall. That sounds like Lysol. Sounds like I'm spraying Lysol around.
Taj
no. But, all right. All seriousness. If you need 2, I'm going to go MVS. I'm going to go Trey Tucker.
Against KC?
I'm going Abdullah and MVS. Abdullah and MVS.
Pete, why do you hate me tonight? What happened?
Sorry. I think we already answered this one. This one says I have Pickens and Puka as my wide receiver starters, and Saquon
it just because it's Bo Nix's profile picture.
It's the next question, man.
That's probably your burner.
Who should we be on my flex? Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Hubbard, or Scary Terry? I'm going Lamb. The volume's there. I really like Hubbard this week too, but I'm going with Lamb.
I would still go Lamb. I do love Hubbard this week, though. I'd still go Lamb, though. But I love Hubbard this week.
Jeez, it's tough.
It is tough. That's why he's asking. But I would go Lamb. Just Wilson will be the next man up.
I think I'd go Hubbard.
I like Hubbard this week a lot.
Hubbard will be next man.
I'm going to go Hubbard here as well. Slightly over Lamb.
OG Rye said 2 RB spot with a wide receiver. I have Pollard, Bijan, Dowdle, Tracy, Devonta Smith is another option at the flex. Who am I starting? Probably Bijan. You're probably going to start Devonta, and it's between Dowdle and Tracy and Pollard. Give me Pollard.
Yeah, I'd go Pollard there as well. Dowdle's not as bad as people think this week. He's really not.
This could be a Dowdle breakout.
You're starting these guys over Bijan?
No, Bijan, Devonta, and Pollard. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I read that wrong.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Pollard, Bijan, and I'd probably go Dowdle as well.
Devonta Smith, we don't even know if he's playing.
Yeah.
Jared King said Marv, Reed, Pittman, or Rashad White need one flex PPR. It's Reed for me. And then if I had to pick a second guy, it's actually Rashad White. Panthers have given up double-digit points to 2 running backs 4 times this season. And they've given up 20 points or more in 6 matchups to at least 1 running back. So I like Rachaad White as the second guy, but I just like Jaden Reed this week with Dobbs out.
Anthony, I wanted to bring this up to you only because we've heard Reed a couple times, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Let me know.
I'm out on Reed this week.
Oh yeah, when I was preparing your graphics, you were out on Reed. So why are you out on Reed? Pete seems to like him. Why Pete doesn't love him?
Lack of volume. They're not throwing a ton. The Dolphins #1 on paper against wide receivers. I'd probably go with Marvin Harrison Jr. here.
Okay. I just wanted to get.
I like Marvin Harrison and Reed personally. Rachaad White. I mean, he took a backseat to Bucky, so I don't. I mean, I know it's the Panthers, but
I'd probably go Marvin Harrison and Reed as well. I was just very curious to get Anthony's thoughts there on Reed since he does have him as a sit.
If they were throwing, if Love was throwing it at a higher rate, I'd be fine with Reed. They're just under 23 passes, and
they may have to throw
their past 4 games.
Yeah, they may have to throw this week.
That's a weird game, man.
I see a sneaky under. I see a sneaky under in this fucking game. And I don't like unders, but I see an under here.
But do you think a lot of people are going to play the narrative where Tua sucks in the cold? They're going to lose.
It's not only Tua sucks in the cold. It's Green Bay's secondary is really good.
Yeah, but no Jared this week. He's already been ruled out. And you're going against Tyreek and fucking Waddle. And even Jonnu.
Right, but Tyreek and Waddle disappoint even with Tua back.
Well, they've been much better since he's been back.
He's spread the ball out. That offense has actually been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like like Mike said, I think it's a weird game to prognosticate,
Yeah. I'm not going to bet on that shit.
I'm just taking the over and I'm taking the Packers, and I'll probably tease the shit together as well.
Zero skills, you guys are great. LOL. And as a bonus, my wife leaves the room when I listen to you guys.
Wow.
Tell her to come back in. Bring
her
back in. Zero skills. Bring her back in. Bring her back in now.
Are we too vulgar?
Did we do something to upset her?
What happened?
We could talk about it.
Jared said happy Thanksgiving. Jennings or Vele.
You need the ladies for the party night. We need the ladies in the room.
You have no manners.
What the fuck is going on? When you have a party, you got to get some late. If you don't have the girls, what kind of fucking party is it?
You idiot.
All right.
I'm going with Jennings. Vele hasn't been great against man coverage. Broncos haven't faced a ton of man coverage, and
I would go Jennings.
Play a lot. They play most man coverage, so I'm going to go with Jennings here.
Yep. Same here.
The only way I go Jennings is if Purdy plays. I just don't trust that situation without Purdy.
You know what? If Dobbs plays, I'll go with Jennings, but I don't think he's going to play. It sounds like Brandon Allen. So, yeah, I agree with Anthony. If Purdy's not in, I'm going with Vele. And Vele has been good.
Balls.
Didn't Peyton just compare him to Marcus Colston?
I've been saying that for fucking weeks.
I think Anthony said that yesterday too. Yeah,
Haley's been good. It's just man coverage is not really his strong suit, and they run third most. So, and if Purdy's healthy, the matchup's not bad. But
Purdy's healthy. Yeah, that's my disclaimer. If Purdy's out, I'm out on Jennings.
Me too. But this one's easy for me. I don't really have to go into it.
For me too.
It's Herbert. He's running. The matchup's not bad.
By the way,
matchup.
I'll just say this. You look at Herbert's first 5 games, he's averaged 11.44 points per game. The last 6, he's averaged 20.68. So he's clearly turned it around. I like him in this matchup.
He's only, I think he's thrown 1 interception all year. I mean, he's been awesome.
Yeah. This matchup too against the Falcons is run territory.
I love Herbert this week, and I think they're going to be more reliant on him without J.K. Dobbins.
That's also
because Gus Edwards, he was a 5-yard carry guy next to Lamar Jackson. He's a plotter in this offense.
It's funny. Like when Dobbins went out, their offense kind of fucking fell off. It was weird.
Yes,
they didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yes.
So maybe they kind of just lean on the passing game even more. But I mean, Quentin Johnson, he killed them last week, so he's got to play better. Josh Palmer's got to step up too. But interesting game here, 48 total in these two teams.
I love my boy Josh, but I don't know what's going on with him, man.
Pete, I love that you walked into this show and now you're managing the questions, so I don't have to.
Trying to get it.
Thank God. Thank God for that.
What the fuck does that mean, Steve? God damn it.
Well, it's Thursday. It's like when you go out before Thanksgiving, you have a couple drinks, you want to loosen up a little bit. So Pete's the sober one here. Let him take over.
Yeah,
I like Disley's yards again this week. His prop, he hit 2 weeks in a row.
I like Disley too. All right, pick 2: Higgins, Tyreek, DJ, BTJ. I'm going Higgins and DJ Moore.
That's
I'm
fucking
gonna go.
close.
I'm gonna go Tyreek and DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore this week.
Me too, but it's so hard to sit. Even though I'm out on this it's just Tyreek's such a hard player to sit.
Oh, he's easy to sit if you've played him. He stinks. I'm just saying.
Funny. It's funny. It's real.
No,
I know
I'm not saying Tyreek.
It's not hard if you drafted him.
He's burning the fuck out of me.
Yeah, no,
That's
he's not the player we were expecting. That's for sure.
Funny.
I'd still go Tyreek though, and I think I'd go Higgins. If not Higgins, I'd go BTJ. If Lawrence is playing, if Mac Jones is playing, I'm not going BTJ.
Yeah, BTJ is playing. I'm starting him over more.
I'm going Tyreek and DJ.
When did Tua come back? Week 8?
I think it was.
So
Yeah.
So week 8, Tyreek went for 19 against the Raiders, and he's been under 13 points in PPR every other game with Tua back. Like, it's just, it's hard for me to just say, okay, it's Tyreek Hill. Let's just assume it's going to happen because this is now how many weeks with Tua back? And I get, like, eventually Tua's going to have a good game in the cold. What makes us think it's this week? So I will go Higgins and I'll go DJ Moore.
I mean, how could Tua resist, throwing to Jonnu Smith? I mean, it's tough.
That was not me. That was not me. That was you, Pete.
Because Jonnu is, he's just too good. Danny said, hey, guys, would you start Jacoby Myers or J-Mo? Also struggling between Laporta, Disley, Ertz. At tight end, I have Herbert, so lean Disley. I'm not starting Jacoby against the Chiefs. Give me J-Mo with the more explosiveness. They're projecting
Laporta, by the way.
Yeah, but Aiden O'Connell's starting this week. Mitchell's out, and Aiden O'Connell likes to lock onto one guy. I believe that Jacoby's target share was like above 20%. Yeah, maybe 30% with Jacoby. So yeah, I don't mind Jacoby against the Chiefs, even in a tough matchup.
I would go Jacoby, and I would go with Laporta here. Me personally,
I'm going Disley.
I'm going.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Disley and Myers.
Laporta and Myers for me.
Okay, so 3-1 on Myers, and then it seems like Laporta and Disley are split. Jason Poole said, Flex 1, Jennings, Jonnu, J-Mo, Waddle, or BTJ. Thanks, fellas. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah, I would hold out and see if Lawrence plays for BTJ, and if not, pivot to another guy. I know you can't start Waddle then at that point, or J-Mo, but I'm okay even riding with Jonnu Smith or Jennings and risking it for BTJ if Lawrence plays. I think Lawrence is going to play.
I think he does too, but yeah.
I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I like BTJ or Jonnu.
I'd probably go Jonnu.
Because worst comes to worst, like
You're
the Texans probably get a lead on the Jaguars. Even Mac Jones, like we saw what he did. What did BTJ have, like 5 for 62 a couple weeks ago? So before the bye week. So I mean, it's not terrible.
Okay. Jamie said, do we have a double revenge game with Swift and Monty?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy into the revenge games as much as some people do.
I do.
I don't know. I bought into the revenge game with Savante last week, and he had -8. Maybe I have to buy into better players' revenge game narratives. That might be.
Pete. You have no marbles. None.
Roshan touchdown. Roshan Johnson touchdown, probably. Bigsby did have a decent game versus the Texans last game. That's true, but Lawrence was quarterback, so that's the only thing. Play the drop off, Albert said, but that was 20 minutes ago. Albert might be gone. So
I think we played that drop earlier.
You might have.
Why is it not playing? Oh, it's muted. Who muted my sound drops?
Somebody
Jerk.
muted it.
You fucking
Roadhead.
coward. Which one he did it? I bet it was Anthony. It was 100% Anthony.
I'm starting Malik Neighbors here.
Neighbors, Adam, Tracy. No, Neighbors would be the play for me.
Yeah, I'm going Neighbors. We can't wait to see if Brees is out.
True. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Gus Edwards, forget about him.
J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, you never know.
And maybe this is me with kind of fool's gold here, but I kind of thought Tommy DeVito would go ahead and like feed Neighbors. Now it looks like we're going to have Drew Lock. So I'm going on that. He's going to feed him again. Or on that idea that he will feed him. I shouldn't say again because it didn't happen.
So you got to pick two. You got to pick two here. You're going Neighbors and who else?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
true.
I apologize. It is two.
Yeah.
You're right. Good point. I'm gonna go Neighbors here, and I'm gonna go Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
No, come on. Over Adams, Tracy, and no, you can't pick Gus Edwards.
That just happened. It was a real thing.
I'll do a pizza bet on that one. I'll take Neighbors and either Adams or Tracy.
Jets coming off a bye week. You know,
Yeah, actually, I like Adams this week. I would take Neighbors and Adams.
I think Gus is really touchdown dependent. And, 9 for 11 and a touchdown last week, 6 for 27 the week before that. So he's going to need to score. I like the matchup, but I'd rather go Adams and Neighbors.
Sorry, Hoff.
No, I mean either way, we're all in on Neighbors. That's fine. That's the whole sentiment.
Forever Eagle said, "Sup, fellas? Who would I put on my flex? Half PPR Williams, DJ Pollard, or Pittman? I'll ride with DJ. If not, I'd go Pollard."
Same.
I like that point. You'd go Pollard over DJ Moore?
No, I'd go
Pollard.
DJ. If not,
DJ first.
Oh, I was just okay. Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I would go Pollard.
ooh, over DJ.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
See,
more
I would go
reliable.
DJ and then Pollard next, but
I know
that's what I was
DJ.
making sure
Yeah,
of.
DJ is not a
the
bad
only thing that worries me is it's half PPR and DJ's been getting volume, but not yours. So that does worry me. A little bit.
Magically with the change of offensive coordinator.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Adam, we're getting to the 1:30 mark, so I'm assuming we're almost done, right?
Yeah.
yeah, hope so.
Start
2
one.
hours.
Love,
We're going 2 hours tonight. That's it.
Love Murray, Richardson, or May. Give me Kyler. I'll buy into the Cardinals. They got to bounce back after a tough loss last week.
I don't love any of these plays, to be honest with you. But I would go Murray.
Same here.
Yep. Don't
He's
love
the least of all evils.
I can't buy into Anthony Richardson yet, man. I don't.
Yeah, but he was unlucky last week though.
He was.
Drop touchdown.
Well, he was.
Penalties.
You're right.
Yes,
You're
the
right.
Patriots this week.
He called back last week.
Yeah.
No, you're right,
Yeah.
Steve. You're right.
Um.
As much as I ripped him apart, I got to acknowledge he did get kind of screwed by some.
Yeah,
drops
I don't mind Murray's matchup either, though. It's very close. I guess I would slightly lean Murray, but May and Richardson could kind of go at it, but the total is only 42.5 there.
I don't like May in the matchup either, though. Like
I think they're going to eat. I think the Colts are going to eat them up a little bit. That defense is playing a lot better the last few weeks.
yeah, I could see it.
Full PPR, Tracy, Ridley, or Jennings for the flex. I keep
Ridley.
spacing on the Titans. They're playing the Commanders.
Washington.
All right, then Ridley.
I like Ridley.
No more Tracy, huh? Tracy's over with because of fumbles. Is that it?
I mean, 3 fumbles, 2 lost in past 2 games. That's he lost that goal line carry to Devin Singletary after that fumble.
I'll go Ridley here.
Steve,
Yeah, I don't mind Ridley.
he is dealing with an injury. I will say that.
Yeah.
Adrian Sanchez said, "Should I start DeJounte Murray or Dyson Daniels?" A little basketball question.
Oh, nice. I would go DeJounte Murray. I think he's a better player.
You have any Horace Grant questions there, Adrian?
Outside of player props for NBA that I'm
Hey,
doing,
we're gonna actually next week. I think we're gonna have a little college basketball talk on the show. So check into that.
Good shit. Feel free to like and subscribe. There you go.
Paul Said you guys have helped me to a huge win last week. So Darnold, Knicks, and then McCaffrey, Hall, Jones, Hunt, pick 3, defense, Vikings or Bucks. Give me the Vikings, just a better defense. I know the matchup is tough. Actually, I'll go with the Bucks. I don't know. Murray's not taking a ton of sacks. I would go with Knicks over Darnold, and I'm starting McCaffrey. I'm starting Hall, and I'm starting. I'm probably starting. Yeah,
I could be wrong on Darnold, but I don't like him this week in this matchup. I mean, Cardinals' last 3 games have allowed an average of, I believe, 9.2 points per game. So I'm not really in love with that. I'll take the Knicks side of that.
I'm
I'd probably go Buccaneers side of that.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks, McCaffrey, Jones. If Hall's out, I'll go Hunt over Pacheco because I think they'll work in Pacheco slowly.
Sure.
And then I'm going Vikings over Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks, CMC, Brees if he's active. What Jones is that? I'm drawing a blank. Aaron Jones. Okay, so I'll go with those 3 running backs. If Brees is out, I'll go Pacheco over Hunt. I think once they get Pacheco in there, we're going to see it like a 50-50, and I think they're going to want to get him acclimated quick. Hunt looks like he's losing some steam a little bit.
Yeah, that's not a bad call. I mean, the Panthers game, they almost lost to the Panthers last week. So this Chiefs game could be closer than maybe against the Raiders than we think. So even though they're 14-point or 13-point favorites, so I don't mind Pacheco there.
Bing bang.
Okay. We got maybe like 2 minutes here. So let's try to rip through them. Basher said Laporta, Conklin, or Theo Johnson this week. I'll go Laporta.
Yeah,
come on.
Same deal.
Laporta.
Okay.
Yep.
EB said non-PPR, Neighbors or Pickens. I'll go Neighbors.
Pickens.
Ooh, oh,
shit.
I'll lean Pickens. I'll go Pickens here.
Cincinnati, 47.5. We got to go Pickens.
Yeah, I'm going Pickens here, but I feel like a Neighbors week is coming, but yeah. I'm going Pickens. I'm going Pickens.
You know what, though? We haven't seen a real Pickens explosion. And
we've seen attempts. Like you look at that one. What was that? That one Monday night game with the 2 touchdowns that were called out.
Yeah, Giants.
He's had so many games where he's, all these big games are called back. So I think it might be coming this week.
I'll go Pickens, but that's the boom Neighbors week is on the horizon.
That's true too. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do 2 more here, KJ, and then Trone, and then Hoff and Anthony will be here tomorrow morning at what time?
Yeah, 9:30. 9:30,
motherfucker.
Let's go 9:30.
I may join if I get the sauce on the stove in time.
Then
sure.
Oh, the old
I'll
Italian
be out.
Fucking Clemenza there. All right.
I got to take a massive piss, so I may.
All right.
Water bottle. RB2, Braylon Allen or Gus Bus, hoping Monty plays. He's my RB1. I think he's going to play. But yeah, I mean, I'm going with Gus if Hall plays. I mean,
yeah, same bit. Yeah, I'm game for that.
Anthony's digging into the numbers here.
I will go. I don't love it. I guess I'll go Gus.
Okay. Last one, Trone. He said just traded Tyreek and D-Hop to get Chase Brown. Overpaid, but need another running back. My roster is now JD.
Did overpay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyreek and D-Hop for Chase is fine.
We talked about this last night, I think, Trone.
Yeah, he didn't ask a question. He just kind of sent it in. We'll close it out with KJ here since that wasn't a question. Full PPR, Jordan Jennings or Garrett. I would go Garrett as well.
Garrett.
I go Garrett Wilson too. Just the one thing I'll say about Juwan Jennings, I think he's going to be kind of obnoxious, where he's going to be kind of like Jaws, where like he just swims in, has a good week, and then all of a sudden we don't see him for a while. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Brock Purdy. So yeah, Garrett Wilson.
All right. Well, if you've been waiting, guys, just pop back in tomorrow. Send questions in the video when this closes out. If you don't want to wait or aren't going to show up, but it's easier to have us answer live tomorrow. Anthony and Hoff will be here at 9:30. So,
I will just say, be sure in this Thanksgiving holiday coming up, if we don't see you tomorrow, give thanks. Like I give thanks to Pete, to Anthony for tolerating me. For Steve who's taking a piss, I appreciate all of you. You're all wonderful, beautiful people. happy to do this with you guys. But until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.